In the last tips and tricks video, I showed you how to make a perfectly circular kind of railing. Well, maybe not exactly perfect, but you get the point. And now in this video, in this next tips and tricks episode 2, I'm going to show you how to actually fill your planters. So I made this as a planter. You can also use this as whatever kind of thing you want. You can make it as like a path barrier, I guess, whatever you feel necessary. But in this case, I'm using mine as a planter. So I'm going to show you guys how to layer plants and rocks really nicely so that you kind of have this like cool kind of centerpiece kind of nature piece, I guess, if that makes sense. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I usually do. I usually start with a bunch of rocks. Now, I have this already as a blueprint. I believe it's on the workshop. If it's not, then I will upload it by the time this video goes out, so it is now on the workshop if you just want to get it separately. This is just a bunch of taiga and temperate rocks put in together. You can also use any type of other rock if you want. So I'm going to start with these giant piles, and we're going to put them down to the ground. And we're going to put them kind of just like on the edges, maybe like a few on the edges, maybe just kind of like sporadically here and there. You don't want to get it like in like, if you're going for that ultra realism, you don't want to get it like where it's like into the column. You want to get it where it's like around the column, if you know what I'm saying. Alright, so now we're going to do that. I've also been using recently Caesar Creates as larger rock piles, which I don't know where I put those. Where is Caesar Creates stuff? That's not it. There it is. So we also have Caesar Creates stuff, which you can also download in the link in the description, because that is also really helpful, and it blends in a lot with my style of rocks. So we're gonna do that. You can also just like kind of, I guess, get rid of a few things that here and there if you don't want it to be completely symmetrical. I don't really care because foliage is probably gonna cover it up anyway. But there you go, there's our rock portion of it. Now, we can also add smaller rocks, not that, because we're done with that. But we can add smaller rock piles. Now, I've combined, I think this is it, yes. I've combined a few of the small faux rocks together. You can use that, which I believe is on the workshop. It's in the Petting Zoo scenery pack if you want to grab that yourself. Or you can also use the other rock piles. Now, I think these are a bit, like mine are a bit more realistic, but you do whatever you want. These are also really good for like making smaller textures, and it's a lot faster to make it like that. Unless you want to download mine, that's also an option. But I usually use mine to just kind of like sprinkle here and there as a more like detailed rock pile at the edge, at like the edges here, I guess. So we're just gonna do this just here and there, maybe also some in the middle. That's probably good enough. So next, we're on to foliage. So I have a selection of favorited foliage. You can obviously use whatever foliage you want, but I have a bunch of stuff here. I have like the basket ferns, I have the blue stem grass, broken trees, common ash, all that stuff. So I'm going to start with our grasses, because grasses is usually what you would start with when layering. You start with the ground, you build your way up. So I'm using the buffalo, I believe, the buffalo grass, yes. The buffalo grass large, and we're just kind of plopping this down here and there. I love this grass so much. It is super realistic and makes it look amazing. And if you're wondering what it is when I said that, it means everything. It means the world. This grass is life. Anyway, alright, so we're gonna put this just kind of everywhere. This is really where I lose control with foliage. I just lose all concept of like pieces. Alright, so that's probably good. Alright, kind of starting to fill up again. So next we're going to add in a different kind of foliage. Now this is the drain grass from the Africa pack, I believe, or it could be in the base game actually. I think it is in the base game, so you will not have to pay for the Africa pack. And neither will you need to for the buffalo grass, because that's also in a free update. We're going to add in a bit of drain grass here and there, and it kind of just nicely like blends with the buffalo grass. Now we're going to add in a few more things. We have the sand hedge, which I just like. I think it's a sand hedge. The golden sand sedge, sorry. We're going to add this just a bit more detail here and there just to give some vibrance, I guess. And then finally, I think, on the edges, just for our base layer here, our foliage, I'm going to add the hostas to here. So I have the small hostas. For these ones, I don't really care if it goes like under the railing or like kind of like cuts into it, because these are very pretty plants and they technically can overgrow because they're on the bottom floor, so I don't really care too much if they go onto the path or anything like that, because they are pretty cool. So we're gonna do those. Just leave like little gaps maybe. Alright, so now we have filled the entire thing with foliage. Now it may be overproduced with foliage, you may not see any soil left, but that is alright, because it just is. Alright, so now we're going to add in the middle part here. So I want to have some sort of like elevation in the middle, so you kind of have these like smaller grassy bits on the outside of the planter, and then it starts to build up towards the middle and the inside. I'm going to do, maybe not a tree, but we're going to do some bushes. So let's do... where is our this one? So I'm going to use the creosote bush, I think this is called. I have no idea how to pronounce bushes, I'm sorry. But we're going to do this kind of like around the rock piles, just to like bring some elevation in. Just kind of like that. And this is obviously also a tropical area, so we're also going to use some tropical foliage. So I'm going to use the silver fern. We're going to put this around here, and you want to have it so kind of like the rocks are still like seeable here, but you also want to have our foliage kind of like taken over. Alright, and we're gonna have maybe another one down here. Just kind of go crazy, but not too crazy with these, because it can be overwhelming if you use too many of them. You can also have one like sticking up like that if you want. Really doesn't matter. There's no real way to mess up this part, because it's just obviously about having fun. Alright, now we're going to go in with some ponytail palms from the aquatic bag. I do think this one you need to purchase, I think. Maybe around, maybe there. Actually, no, I don't want it there. Like that probably. That would probably be good. Maybe have it now. We could add in like some shorter bushes. Like I really like using the diamond leaf willow bush, just as a kind of like a shorter bush to throw in here and there. Again, not covering the rocks completely, just acting as a kind of thing. So there you go. You have like your middle kind of centerpiece. If you really want to, you can also have more tropical foliage like this. Or like over here, just kind of like hidden away. Okay, and then finally, I think that's good for foliage. Finally, we're gonna add some broken stuff. So what I like to do is use the broken, where is it? The broken yellow ipe tree, I guess. And we're gonna kind of like tilt this so it is almost like that. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. And then I'm also going to use another type of branch, which I believe is somewhere over here. There we go. This is from Caesar Creates this pack, I think. I kind of just like took a branch off of one of his climbing structures. And it looks pretty good. Put that over here maybe, with like kind of like curving into the foliage. Nice. And then finally, I'm going to use one last branch here. Where is it? This one. If I can press on it. There we go. We're going to put this right over here. Like probably right in front. You can curve it. Kind of like sunk it in there. And there you go. That is how you create a beautiful plant zoo, and look how good that looks. Look how beautiful that is compared to the and fits into the rest of foliage. There you go. We've covered all sides of it. You can even add your own like info boards or whatever here, or your statues. I could add like a like a pig statue, I guess, like because this is around. If you want a sneak peek, if you want a teaser for what the next episode is. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Anyway, so that is how you make a realistic planter in Planet Zoo, or like fill a planter space. I hope you all enjoyed this kind of. I'm hoping you find this helpful for your own builds. That's the whole point of the series. I hope you all got inspired. I hope you all enjoy. If you did enjoy, please hit the subscribe button because it means the world to me. And yeah, let me know down below what else you want me to make a tutorial on, because I hopefully can be able to answer whatever you guys want, because this really doesn't take long for me to make, and I would love to share more of my tips with you guys. So I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys. See you in the next video.